Chapter 3 Limit Study Guide, Problem 1b. We want to evaluate the limit of this function as x goes to -2, but again, x is undefined at -2, so we're going to have to do some algebraic manipulation to make it look a little bit nicer for us, find some things that cancel out. So anytime we see these square root problems, the first thing we want to think to try is to multiply by the conjugate. So if you remember back to complex numbers, when we multiplied by the complex conjugate, we got some nice cancellation. So we're going to use the same idea here, and we're going to multiply by the square root of x plus 11 plus 3 over the square root of x plus 11 plus 3. Fancy one, as I call it. And again, this is the conjugate because the first part stays the same, and you take the opposite of the second part. So square root of x plus 11 stayed the same, and we took positive 3 instead of -3. So I'm not going to write it all out because I cannot write small enough with the iPad, but the whole beauty of multiplying by the conjugate is that the middle terms are going to cancel each other out. They will be additive inverses. So I'm going to jump straight to the limit as x goes to -2 of this new function, x plus 11 minus 9, which we're going to simplify in a moment, over x plus 2 times the quantity square root of x plus 11 plus 3. Now if we look at the numerator, the reason I was able to get this is because to get your first term, you got to look at whatever the first term in your conjugate is, in this case square root of x plus 11. Well, when you multiply that by square root of x plus 11, aka squaring a square root, you're just going to get what's left in the middle, x plus 11. So that's why we got x plus 11 there, and then minus 9 because we're going to get -3 times our positive 3 over here to get -9. Now if we look at our denominator, you'll notice that I did not distribute those two factors because that would get messy and ugly. And we'll see in a moment that it's a good thing I didn't because we're going to get some nice cancellation again. Now when I do that x plus 11 minus 9, reduce it to x plus 2, I can see and I now have an x plus 2 in the numerator and the denominator. That's why I didn't multiply all of that stuff together. And you can see I didn't have room to write it there, but that's all that same square root of x plus 11 plus 3 jazz as before. So let's go ahead and remove that whole and rewrite this as limit as x goes to -2 of 1 over square root of x plus 11 plus 3. And now we can go ahead and actually evaluate this. So we get 1 over square root of x, which is -2, plus 11 plus 3, which is 1 over -2 plus 11 is, of course, 9. Square root of 9 is 3, so we get 3 plus 3, so we get the answer of 1 over 6. Yay!